Hello again here. We're going to do this video on the heart in terms of congestive heart failure, heart arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation, PVCs, which is premature ventricular beats and the like. Also mitral valve prolapses or heart murmurs. We'll cover that part of that because a lot of people have these type of problems. So again, keep in mind, going back to your lymphatic system, what it is. So when we look at the heart, what do we have? We have basically a muscle with four chambers. And we have valves between each two chambers, the mitral valve and the tricuspid. And these are just valves or gates that open and close as the blood passes through the heart, each chamber. The first chamber is on to the right atrials and ventricles, onto the lungs to get oxygenated, and then to the left side and out to the body. Now, so every tissue, it's not just the heart, every tissue in your body has three components to it. So I want you to remember these three components: blood, nerve, and lymph. Blood, nerve, and lymph. The blood obviously feeds the cells, the lymph obviously cleans the cells, but the nerve moves the cells. So you see that in every tissue, but even the neurons have blood and lymph associations because everything's a cell. All the heart is a bunch of cells forming four chambers and valves. So that's all it is. But within the heart, you've got blood flow to the cells, you have lymph flow from the cells, and then you've got a nervous system to the cells. And you can have trouble with either one of them. But the blood and the lymph always affects everything, including the nerve. So this is why, how simple this is why you always go back and work on that lymph system. Because when the lymph system's backed up in the body, it's backed up head to toe. So things like congestive heart failure, hypertrophy of the heart. Hypertrophy is enlargement. What enlarges? What swells things? Swelling of the spleen, swelling of the kidneys or adrenal gland. I just talked to a lady, her sister had adrenal glands full of tumors. What is this? This is the lymph system. When the lymph system backs up, you get pain and swelling. You get edema. Your ankles swell, your heart swells, your lungs swells, pulmonary edema. You fill with fluids in the body's effort to hydrate itself, to buffer these acids, because remember, when acids win, you lose. And that you have to learn that. So, obviously, congestive heart failure, hypertrophy of the heart, hypertrophy of anything, enlargement. Hypertrophy means enlargement. Whenever you have pain and swelling, that's the lymph system. Get on that lymph system. Get the kidneys and adrenal glands back on. Clean the bowels. Move those lymphs. And I've got a lot of great lymphatic formulas, but you got to work on the kidneys with it. Don't use the lymphs without the kidneys, because you can hurt the kidneys trying to pull a lot of lymph into kidneys that are not filtering yet. It's like a bunch of people rushing a closed door. So not a lot of fun. That's why detoxification, there's a proper way to do it. And working on the kidneys are very key. And of course the adrenal glands control this. This is why exercise. There's a lot of misunderstanding in exercise, and it doesn't fit with physiology. An example of that. You want to exercise, your adrenal glands has to kick up norepinephrine and epinephrine, which is adrenaline. Now this dilates the vascular system or the blood flow, increases heart rate, it opens up bronchial tracts so you can breathe more oxygen, you can have more blood flowing, therefore more energy to muscles. At the same time though, it suppresses acetylcholine and dopamines to shut down kidney and bowel function. You can't have everything going at once. You have to redirect energy. In one of our videos we shot yesterday, I was talking about energy management. This is why fruits, when you're sick, are so much better than vegetables. Energy management. We can't be sitting there breaking down cellulose when the body needs energy to fix itself. And the same thing with protein. Hard to digest, hard to break down. That's why you use acids to break down proteins. They're too complex. Meat's very constipating. So, understanding that when you're in a relaxed state, your norepinephrine, your epinephrine back down, your acetylcholines, your dopamines go up. This then turns on the kidneys, turns on the bowels, and allows you to eliminate. you'll see this in stressful situations. When I was going back and forth to Lisbon all the time, I didn't poop well because I was so stressed out. I hate flying to begin with, and I used to fly myself, but I don't like other pilots flying. It gives me the creeps. So I get stressed out, and then all the activity and the TV shows and everything, you just kind of get really stressed out with that. And when I'm relaxed, everybody moves well, but it is physiology. It's how the body works, how the adrenal glands redirects energy. So when you're sick or you want to move lymph, relax. Quit trying to think you got to get out there and always work. I think the problem with man, they don't relax. I think a primate relaxes 30 to 40% out of the day. I think it was 40% Busch Gardens that said that gorillas relax. I like that. We should relax more because it's just vital to the health and well-being, because you have activity, but then you have to have time for the elimination of the acids you created in that activity. We have a lot of pro athletes, I think I mentioned to you, that have serious acid problems where they're breaking down. They got a lot of arthritises, a lot of RA, and because they have a lot of activity, of course the high protein diets did break down their kidneys, but then they don't know how to relax either. So then they didn't eliminate these acids and they started chewing them up, particularly their joints. So important to understand that rest and relaxation is as much a part of your spirituality as activity, maybe even more so right now. So animals show you that. When animals get sick, they just sit around and relax. And that's because your adrenal glands has to deal with elimination as opposed to activity here. So again, now think about the nervous system in the heart. We've talked about the two nervous systems, but let's go to the prime nervous system called the ANS, autonomic nervous system. It's the involuntary nervous system, meaning that it's going on without you consciously realizing it. You don't remember to breathe unless I suppress your autonomic nervous system. You've got to think to breathe. And I think I mentioned when I poisoned myself with quinine, I shut down my autonomic. I had to remember to breathe or I'd sit here and just pass out on you, because my autonomic nervous system was suppressed. And you'll see this in yourself. It builds anxieties, shortnesses of breath, hard to get a deep breath, and that's with all these neurotoxins. I was so sensitive I could eat a salad at a restaurant and start getting anxieties because they forgot to take the pesticides and herbicides off of these foods. And those are neurotoxins. And we talked about autism yesterday, and how you can't give neurotoxins to these infants and these young people because they're so compromised neurologically that they go right into some severe neurological problems. So it's important to understand these things that we're talking about, and real simple too. So when your nervous system is suppressed, it can create heart arrhythmias. Now, it can be suppressed in the heart itself by heavy lymph stagnation in the heart, can suppress just the nervous system of the heart. But I can tell you that the autonomic nervous system is controlled by the adrenal glands, and that you want to look to your adrenal glands when you start seeing atrial fibrillation or any problem like that. You're going to still be fixing the adrenals, increasing your nerve function. We've got a good brain and nerve formula to increase nerve performance, and you're going to be moving that lymph again, cleaning that heart. But you can't just clean the heart. Your whole body's going to clean head to toe. How beautiful is that? You can't just get one area of your body to clean itself and fix itself. The body will fix itself head to toe. Magic. I mean, I love that. And of course, blood flow. Real important to understand this one. I think it was Deepak, Dr. Wild, put an article, and I don't, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was in the Wall Street Journal maybe, or the New York Times, talking about the fallacy of the open hearts and stents and all this, and the use of cholesterol or statin drugs.